Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. So, there have been some buffs to British medium, well not all British medium tanks, just the Centurions. Some buffs to the turret armour, in order to make it less of a lottery, whether or not you're going to get penetrated whenever you try to go hull down in one of these things. You see, the Centurions have never been particularly well-armoured tanks, but they've always had very good gun mantlets and excellent gun depression. Two characteristics which usually make for a very strong tank in a hull-down position. It was just that the rest of the turret armour, particularly the sloped bit of the turret roof just above the gun mantlet, that was susceptible to being overmatched and made it, well, a bit of a lottery. I mean, sometimes you'd go hull down in Centurion and have a fantastic game, and other times, yeah, not so much. It was all a bit too RNG dependent. Well, that has been addressed. The hull armour is still absolutely garbage, of course, as it should be. It's a medium tank, and if you expose even the slightest bit of hull armour, yeah, that happens. And that's fine. I mean, it's not a heavy tank. It's not a heavily armoured assault gun. It's not a Russian medium tank. He exposed the upper glacis, even sloped upper glacis, even sloped upper glacis angled back, and he got clapped. That's absolutely fine. That's the price that you pay for having a turret that you can comfortably and now reliably go hull down in, providing you do actually go hull down and don't expose the hull. I don't have a problem with this. And the Master Wolf 14 here in the Tier 9 Centurion Mark 7 in this Tier 10 battle on the Lakeville map also doesn't have a problem with this. That's entirely fair. He's not a Russian medium. He should have some kind of frontal vulnerabilities, and, well, Master Wolf and I both agree that that is an entirely reasonable price to pay for the ability to now reliably be able to go hull down in these British medium tanks. He's having to aim for the Commander's Cupola, a very, very narrow target there, by the way, on the top of the E75. And believe it or not, that was a direct hit. That should have penetrated. You can see, dead centre on the Commander's Cupola somehow didn't go through. And again, another penetrating hull hit. This time in almost exactly the same spot. This is the first time the Master Wolf has actually come back and started playing these British high-tier medium tanks after the recent buffs. So, yeah, he's a bit rusty. He's not sure exactly how far forward he can get in order to ensure that he remains hull down and take advantage of these turret front armour buffs. He finally gets a penetrating hit, what should have been his second penetrating hit on the Commander's Cupola of the E75 over there. And oh, hello. That's a very big tank. I want to back up a bit. You know, considering... There we go, that's the kind of hold down sound effect we want to hear. But yes, considering he is basically scouting for his team here, he's the furthest forward tank here in the valley on the western end of this Lakeville map. He's been getting a really disappointing amount of spotting damage. I mean, he's lighting them up, the team is supposed to be shooting them, and they've only done 700 damage to targets that he's been spotting, and yeah, that Mintaro is getting uncomfortably close. He's obviously taken his brave pills and put his man pants on. So, fair enough. Nice convenient rock here, you can hide behind and wait for him to come over the ridge where he'll be vulnerable. And not only that, that's a very convenient tree, which is very conveniently blocking line of sight, so he hasn't actually been spotted. Finally, the rest of the team are getting in on the act. Or at least the rest of the team here in the valley. The rest of the team over in the town, not having such a good time. If you have a look at the mini-map right now, you will see everybody else on the team in full retreat. The town has basically collapsed. In fact, that's where all of the team's casualties have been suffered. They are down 3 tanks. They have yet to kill a single enemy tank. It's kind of baffling that despite all of the hits on that Minotauro, they got absolutely clapped when it tried to push over the ridge. And further hits on other tanks. Master Wolf's spotting damage isn't increasing, which must mean that it's the E75 behind him who's actually getting the spotting damage. Oh, World of Tanks. You so silly. It might have something to do with the view angles, I suppose, because Master Wolf is slightly off to the side here. Oh, that Minotauro is going to be really pissed off. Although his team as a whole are doing extremely well, an entire third of Master Wolf's team are down. Oh, get those tracks repaired quickly and back off, back into a hull down position so the T10 doesn't get the clappy while you're exposed. But yes, an entire third of Master Wolf's team have died. Actually, now more than a third of Master Wolf's team have died, and they have yet to kill a single enemy tank. Oh, yep, the T10 spamming gold through his turret front. That's right, kids. Gold ammunition, the practical alternative to skill. Why bother learning where to shoot when you can just press the 2 key and load the skill? Then again, gold ammo isn't the solution to every problem. I know I make a big deal, and I do exaggerate a bit about it, but, you know, if you don't like gold ammo, you shouldn't be playing World of Tanks, especially not in high tier, where it is the norm. As you can see there from the WZ. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Load more gold, please. There is something intensely satisfying, by the way, about having somebody fire gold at you and it failed to do damage. I mean, I know I like to say, gold ammo, the practical alternative to skill, and, you know, it makes for a good soundbite and it's a bit funny, but it's really not the practical alternative to skill. Well, it is in a way. I mean, I guess if you don't have any skill, you can always load the gold. It'll help. But knowing what to do is better. It's always going to be better. How can you say that, Jingles? Well, despite being relatively new back to British high-tier medium tanks, Master Wolf hasn't fired any gold. Well, I don't think he has. I mean, his primary ammo loadout, the APCR, that's standard ammo on a Centurion Mark 7. He's switching to Hesh in order to deal with the artillery, the high-explosive squash head ammo, which is common to British tanks only, because we're the only ones that use it. And is basically high explosive just with higher penetration. But he's got 2 different types of Hesh there, and I know one of them is premium Hesh, but I just don't know which is which. So it's possible he was switching to gold, just to ensure that he killed and one-shotted the artillery. But everything's been firing at the regular tanks. It's just been standard ammo. And he's done 5,500 damage with it. The team are actually having something of a fight back here. I mean, he left the guys at the rear here to deal with the enemy tanks sweeping in from the town and outflanking them, but with the pressure taken off from the other end of the valley now, and because he really doesn't want to get clapped in the ass here, surprise butt sex may be the best butt sex, but no butt sex is good butt sex if you're on the receiving end. So, let's get in there. That RU-251 also needs to die. Gotcha. Just 2 minutes ago, the enemy team were winning 6 kills to nothing, and Master Wolf's team were in danger, and did in fact become completely outflanked and surrounded. And now, well, it remains to be seen whether or not that 60 TP can take somebody down with him, and if it is going to be anybody, it'll be the Centurion Action 10 over there, but howdy folks, and welcome to a game of throws in World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. I mean, you know, they haven't won it yet. There's 2 enemies left. One of them is an Object 430, and that's kind of nasty. Notice that Master Wolf has once again switched to the high explosive squash head ammo, because he just very nearly got clapped by the M53 from back here, and clearly the M53 has just spotted him. So he loads the Hesh to ensure he can one-shot him before the arty can reload and finish the job, and with the Object 430 spotted all the way over there, he is not an immediate threat. So Master Wolf doesn't even have to be sneaky about driving back to the rest of his teammates. He can drive straight across the open ground without worrying about getting spotted and clapped by the last remaining enemy medium tank on the way. He knows exactly where he is. He's no threat whatsoever. Oh, the 430 just got his cheeks clapped by the 121B there. And for once we know that the team hit point estimation at the top of the screen is accurate, because we could see the Object 430. So yeah, he is now basically a one-shot kill for everything. Of course, Master Wolf is also a one-shot kill, even more so than the Object 430 after getting smacked by the artillery there. But they have the advantage, because he's got a nice big chunky 121B up in front of him. He's got a nice chunky E75 behind him. The 121B's in pursuit, although it should never catch an Object 430. But with the 121B going one way around the mountain and the E75 blocking the rear, and you do only have 60 odd health left, what's the best thing you can do in the Centurion Mark 7? Well, you can sit in the cap circle, and while he's relatively sure that the 430 isn't down that direction, because otherwise the 121B would have gotten shot in the flank, and yep, sure enough, the 430's up there. Better safe than sorry, so he parked himself in here behind the bushes, so if the 430 had headed in the direction of town, he wouldn't have been able to kill him while he was sitting in an exposed cap circle. And now, of course, with Master Wolf sitting in the cap circle, while the odds were never in the Object 430's favour, with him having nearly 10% of the remaining health of the 3 enemy tanks that he has to kill in order to win this game, he is now going to lose by cap if he doesn't kill the 3 remaining enemy tanks. So, well, we can probably guess which way he's going. He's not going to turn around and try to fight. Oh, there he is. And the E75, of course, is waiting for him. And any second now. You go back, you get killed by the 121B. You go forward, you get killed by the E75. I mean, he doesn't know for sure that the E75's there, but he's about to find out. There it is. Get down, Shep. And so Master Wolf, in addition to the 7,000 damage that he did and the 3,500 damage that he blocked with his spanky new turret front armour, he also gets to farm some loser points to add to what is probably going to be a very impressive score. I say probably, of course, because thanks to the bugs that World of Tanks have introduced into replay files, the World of Tanks replay website still isn't showing the battle results. But Master Wolf did take a couple of screenshots. There he is, unsurprisingly, top of his team, with more than twice the base experience of the next best player on the team. Not bad for a Tier 9 medium, leading from the front in a Tier 10 battle, which you'd think would lead to outrageously large sums of credits and experience on the next screen, but he did fire, well, I think 5 rounds of gold ammo, assuming that the Hesh that he had loaded was the premium version. But he was selective about it. It wasn't like the T10 and the WZ-111 on the enemy team that were just spamming gold at everything, so you'd think he would have at least made a tidy profit. You'd think so. And while he at least didn't end up owing the game money, he only made a 12,000 credit profit from 7,000 damage done. Wow. Oh well. Hey, it's still a profit. And a great performance from the Master Wolf 14 in the newly buffed, well, relatively newly buffed, Centurion Mark 7. A tank that I've always loved, even when Go and Hull Down in it was a bit of a lottery. And now it isn't. You just have to remember to keep that hull covered up, which honestly is something that you always should have been doing in this tank. And its Tier 10 version, the Centurion AX, as well. So, yeah, it's all good. So, congratulations to the Master Wolf 14 on a great performance and a, well, not a terrible result. I mean, 12,000 credits is still a profit. But, and I hope you all enjoyed watching it, because that's it for today. As always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.